Welcome to Matematika. Today we're going to do quadratic functions and then we're going to solve by factoring or by using quadratic formula. Let's start doing it. When b squared minus 4ac is a perfect square, then maybe the most efficient method to use is by factoring. Okay, let's find out with the number 1. X squared plus 4x plus 3. Let's try to check. This is already in a standard form. So our B is 4, our C is 3, and A is 1. That's our A. B squared is 4 squared minus 4 times A is 1 and C is 3. Okay? So we have a square root of 16 minus negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. So 16 minus 12, that is 4. And 4, square root of 4 is a perfect square. So in other words, we don't need to use the quadratic formula. We go directly by factoring. So we'll check which pair has a factor of 3. Okay? So the pair that we have is 1 and 3. 1 and 3, 1 plus 3 will give us 4. So in other words, we have x plus 1 as a factor and x plus 3. So what is the value of x? X plus 1 equals 0. X is equals to negative 1. And the other is x plus 3 equals 0. So x is equals to negative 3. This is the answer. Alright. It's perfect. Now, let's look at number 2. If we try to do, b squared minus 4ac, so c is 4, b is negative 4, and a is 1. So let's substitute. B is 4 squared minus 4 times 1, and C is 4. So that would be square root of 16 minus 16. So we come up with a square root of 0. So might as well, 0 times 0 is equals to 0. So that means we can do by factoring. Now when we try to look at C, we must look at the factor of C that will give us, when we add, will give us negative 4. So 1 and 4, right? Negative 1 and negative 4 is 1. We have negative 2 and negative 2, 2 and 2. So 1 plus 4 is 5. So it doesn't give us negative 4. Negative 1 plus negative 4, that's negative 5, doesn't give us. Negative 2 plus negative 2, that's negative 4. 2 plus 2, it's 4. So our factor here would be x minus 2 and x minus 2. Alright? Since we have two identical factors, we could have our answer as 1. That's the rule. when b squared minus 4ac, the factor are the same, there is only one solution. Okay? For here, these are our solution. So let's us look at this. So x minus 2 equals 0. X would be equals to 2. So this is the only solution we have, since the other one will give us also 2. Alright, let's do the third one. 2x squared minus 3x minus 5. So let's do the b squared minus 4ac to check. This is our a, this is b, and this is c. So substituting, we have b is negative 3 squared minus 4 times a, 2, times the c, negative 5. Okay? Simplifying, that would be 9 minus 4 times 2, it's 8 times 5, that is positive 40. So when you add this, that's a square root of 49. 49 is a perfect square. Okay? But when we look at the factor for c, that will give us the b when we add. The factor for c, we have negative 1 and 5. 1 and negative 5. Do we have any other factor for negative 5? I think these are the two. Okay, that's a negative 5. Alright. If I add negative 5, negative 1 plus 5, I have a positive 4. It doesn't give me a negative 3. When I add 1 minus 5, it will give me a negative 4. It doesn't give me negative 3. That means I cannot have it or factor it. Find the value by factoring. So this time, I'm going to use the quadratic formula. Alright? So what is our quadratic formula? Let's recall. That is negative b plus and minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Take note, your denominator is 2 times a. Alright. Let's use the quadratic formula. So our a is 2, b is negative 3, c is negative 5. Okay. So the formula is x equals negative b plus and minus a square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So x is negative b plus and minus. Since we have already the b squared minus 4ac right here, okay, I'll just show you when we substitute. So minus 4 times 2 times negative 5 over 2 times 2. So we have substitute. So b is negative and negative 3. That's a double negative, right? Plus and minus, that's 9. Negative 4 times 2, that's 8. Negative 8 times negative 5, that is 40 over 2 times 2. Okay, let's simplify. Negative 3, that would be positive 3, minus a square root of 49 over 2. I'm going to raise this up right here. So x would be 3 plus and minus. Square root of 49 is 7. And then you divide by 2. So let's get our two answers here. X would be 3 plus 7 for the plus. So x would be 10 over 2. That is equals to 5. Oh, is this 2? Wait a minute. I messed up something. So this is 4. Sorry for that. So 3 plus 7 over 4, plus and minus. So let's do the over 4 here. X would be 10 over 4. So we'll reduce that. That would become 5 over 2. This is one value of x. Let's get the other value of x. This time we subtract 3 minus 7, since this is plus and minus right here. 3 minus 7 over 4. X is negative 4 over 4. X is equals to negative 1. So these are your two values of x, 5 over 2, and x equals negative 1. Okay, that's the fourth example that we have. Let's check on this. I think I can add one more. Oh, we didn't solve number 4 yet. Sorry. All right. Let's do number 4. Let's do the checking if we can do this by factoring or by quadratic formula. A is 2, B is 3, C is negative 20. Right there. So B squared minus 4AC, B is 3 squared, minus 4 times 2 times negative 20. So that would be 9. Negative, negative, that would be positive. 4 times 2 is 8 times 20, that's 160. So that would be a square root of 169. And 169 is a perfect square. Okay? So when we try, let's say we try to do it by factoring. 20. What are the factors for, for 20? We have, that's negative 20, right? We have a negative 1. Okay, I can have a negative 1 and 20. Or 1 and negative 20. 2 by 10, negative 2 and 10. Or 2 and negative 10. I could have by 4, negative 4 and 5. And I could have 4 and negative 5. Okay. So when I add negative 1 plus 20, that's 19. 1 plus negative 20, that's negative 19. It doesn't give me the b. What we want to look for is the sum of the factors that will give us 3. So negative 2 plus 10, no. 2 plus negative 10, no. Negative 4 plus 5, that's 1, no. 4 plus negative 5, that's negative 1, no. We don't have other factors. So that means we cannot use factoring. We can solve by using the quadratic formula, which is negative b plus and minus a square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. All right. So we have a substitute x squared. B is 3, so negative 3 plus and minus 3 squared minus 4. A is 2. C is negative 20 over 2 times A. Oh, it's not an x squared, sorry. It's just an x. X is equals to negative 3 plus and minus. That's 9. 4 times 2 times negative 20, that is 160 over 4. Okay. Let's simplify more. X is negative 3 plus and minus square root of 169 over 4. X would be negative 3 plus and minus square root of 169 is 13 over 4. Let's get the positive value. Negative 3 plus 13. Let's do the addition. So x is negative 13 plus 13, that is 10 over 4, that is 5 over 2. Okay. Let's get the other value. Negative 3 minus 13 over 4. So x is negative 16 over 4. X is negative 4. That's it. And that is how we should do and think or know when to use the quadratic formula and when to use the by factoring in the simple way. Okay? Did I put the quadratic formula at the top? Right here. This is a square root of 4ac. Alright, that's a quadratic formula. Okay, see you in my next video class.